Do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a long-awaited episode of Stateside Weekly Market Report with Bryant Naylor and Tim Robinson. We missed you guys last week. It was a little chaotic with Memorial Day, but Bryant and I were just commiserating about how many of you have reached out to us and said, "Where on earth is our weekly DC
Inbox.
Market Report?"
Inbox is flooded.
We cannot take the requests anymore, so we're here to bring you what you need to know to navigate the market. We swear not to let you down again, at least for a couple weeks. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Crazy market out there.
It's crazy market, Brian. Aren't you sick of saying that? I sure am, but it's true.
I am, but it's not now. It's a different type of crazy.
It
Well,
is.
kind of.
Kinda. It's pseudo less crazy. Can you talk about what type of craziness you're seeing right now? And folks, just for those of you paying attention, my wife has told us that we're way too long and we talk too much, and Brian and I are aware of that. But just for the sake of algorithms and the YouTube and the internet, Brian's not. I'm aware of it.
No, I was saying your wife
I'm aware that
watches
you
these.
talk too much. My wife watches. My wife watches these and critiques these deeply. So I'm just trying to get better. I'm trying to be a better
That's
person.
what I was wondering. I was like, my wife doesn't watch them. I don't want to ever hear a peep from her about this stuff.
Why do you touch your
So,
face so much? I'm like, I don't know. I got itches. Are we talking real estate? We're going 8 minutes, is what I'm trying to say.
all
We're
right,
keeping it to 8 minutes. We're keeping it fresh. Bryant, why is it crazy this week?
it's crazy because we're actually buyers are getting some leverage. I just got somebody under contract that got um, home inspection with right to negotiate. Now I have a piece of hair on my nose. Right to negotiate, appraisal, and financing contingency. Now, no questions asked by the seller or the buyer or the listing agent. And they're just like, yeah, send it over, signed it. Actually, we also got it for 10,000 under asking. What's going
Whoa.
on? I
Now,
know.
let's get specific. Where is this and why is this so different from what we've seen? If no one's ever watched an episode of us,
Yeah.
shame on you. And secondly, why is it so different from what we've seen the past year?
Yeah. So it was in Arlington, which is rare,
Yeah.
right? It was in Arlington as a townhouse, about the $700,000 price point.
All
Pretty,
right.
lower, high, mid lower tier for Arlington. And the crazy thing is we no buyers haven't had an opportunity to ask for anything in the last year. It's you're giving up a home inspection. Well, if you get a home inspection, it's right to void only. You're not negotiating anything back. Sellers aren't giving any seller credits, anything. You know, um, they wasn't brand new to the market, so it had been sitting just a little while, not very
Goes
long,
back
but
to
a
what we always talk about, Brian.
couple weeks, right?
The ones that sit for a little while, we have a little more wiggle room. You got a
It's a little.
discount, you got to negotiate repairs. It's good stuff.
So today we had the home inspection and it went overall really well. There's a few little things that are kind of annoying that add up with expenses, and now I am writing an addendum to get all that, to hopefully get some money back from or just have them fix it before closing,
Brian,
which
are you
is
learning
rare.
how to do that for the first time right now because you haven't been able to do that for
I am.
years?
This is
This is
the
the first one
first
you've,
time I've had to do this since I started being a real estate agent.
it's a beautiful time. Negotiating repairs. It's a
Yeah.
lot more work for us folks to have to negotiate repairs, but we love to do it for you because we haven't been able to do it in so long. It's a beautiful thing when you can do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's
crazy.
it's cool.
That's
So
crazy. That's crazy the other way, man. 10,000 under asking,
yeah.
negotiating repairs with financing, with inspection, everything. It's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird because I always like to say it's a tale of three cities: DC, Northern Virginia, and Maryland. But it's even more granular than that. Like I made an offer this weekend for a house in Germantown. We escalated 4 grand, and this is very, mid-tier, $400,000. We escalated 4 grand over asking and got beat by $16,000 with, upwards of 6 offers. So why? I don't know. It just depends. Like it's very neighborhood specific. It's very asset specific. Townhouse, detached family home, condos in certain buildings. It's really it's hard to just there. It's hard to make a blanket statement about like we can do this. Like
Yep.
typically for a while we could say no contingencies. You cannot do that. We can get you inspection right to void only. And that's about as good as you're going to get. But now you can ask for stuff. And it's worth asking. And it's on us as agents to kind of talk to the listing agent and say, hey, what are you really looking for here? It's not always the highest price. It's not always no inspection. I mean, sellers are people, they have real needs, and like our buyers can meet those needs if we have those conversations. So I think that's more important than ever right now. But yeah, it's still a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
glad you're
really
negotiating
surprised.
inspections.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I don't even know. I don't even know how to take it. I'm just, like I said, it's not new to the market. If it's brand new to the market and good, and it's a pretty house and a good neighborhood and good school district, you're likely not going to be getting this kind of stuff handed to you, inspection with the right to negotiate. But again, kind of like what Tim said, and we've talked about in the past, ugly duckling on the street that needs a little bit of love that people are overlooking. We got a $10,000 discount on it. That's $10,000 extra that they can go put into the property instead of paying 30 or 40,000 over asking for as is property. Now they have a property under contract for less than they're asking for, $10,000 in their pocket to go fix anything up, which there is nothing that needs to get $10,000 worth of stuff. There's
Right.
maybe a couple $1,000s worth of minor little things, but there's always couple $1,000s of minor little things in any house. My house,
Yeah.
right? I'm sitting in right now has a couple things that kind of going to cost me a couple $1,000s to fix, but
Everything costs $1,000. Whenever anything breaks in your house, it's $1,000. There's never like a $50 fix.
Exactly. We all have a honey-do list, and it you check one off and four others appear. It's just never ending. But hey,
circle of life, my friend.
Hopefully we can get some of those things taken care of before the new owners take ownership.
No, but I think, I mean, Brian, I love what you said there. And that's, it's great to see what we've been harping on for like 2 months now come to fruition in a real life example. I mean, that's huge. Let's just say theoretically, you have $10,000 in your pocket for a house that's done, it's ready. You can add $10,000 worth of cosmetic touches, new appliances, whatever you want. Or you go on something that hit the market yesterday, compete against 14 other people, pay $40,000 over asking, not know what you're getting because you're not getting an inspection, no contingencies, it appraises for less, you're out. Like all these things can happen because you needed the newest thing on the block versus look at the things that need a little love. We all need a little love. Houses need a little love, and you can get a lot more. That's a $50,000 delta for basically the same product with a few different finishes. Exactly. That's huge. That's huge if you put it in context. And I think that's just a really cool example of not everything sells right away because I think we've been all, spoiled by the Zillow scrolling over COVID, the prettiest, shiniest thing. Like, skip all that. Let's look at something that's been sitting for a while and use the power of agents to kind of negotiate on your behalf. And that's $10,000 off the top, not to mention what you might be able to negotiate on repairs.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some things on repairs. They're willing to negotiate because they want to get this property off their hands. They do. The agent told me, he's like, listen, we want to get to the closing table. So I'm going to write all this stuff up. We might get half of it done, but at least, get half it done. That's better than none and $40,000 out of pocket. So it's great. And I'm excited. It's a good day.
If you go, I mean, word of advice, if you go in as a buyer thinking of how can I solve problems? How can I solve the seller's problem? I think the horizon is much more open for you. If you're willing to look where not everyone's looking and see, oh, why has this been sitting here for a while? Maybe they have a problem I can help fix. And in doing so, get yourself some money, get yourself some flexibility, some negotiating power. That's a win-win. You're solving their problem. They're saving you money. You win, instead of just butting your head against the wall, trying to pay as much as you possibly can for a house that might not be worth that much against 20 other people. And not to say if that's the house, I need this school district, I need this neighborhood, I love that park, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. You're going to live there. It's your forever home. Go for it. But if you really want to get some negotiating power and have a little more wiggle room, ugly ducklings. It's the way to go. And it's not even ugly, right? It's just not super pretty.
Beautiful location. Just needs it actually has all new appliances. Just needs a little bit of love.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think so basically what we're trying to say. You heard the timer? Is that good? Is that good for video? Time's up, dummies. Stop talking. So thanks for joining us. What we're trying to say is show the love. Ugly ducklings need love too. We're here to help you love the ugly ducklings and save you some money and solve problems for the sellers. Like it's all win-win if you do that. So basically what we're saying is the past 2 months we've been talking about how to do this, and now we have a perfect real life example of how if you listen to us, you can get a great house and save some money. Right?
Right. That's it.
Right. Just tune in. You can get a house.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough. That's 9 minutes now. Until next time, folks, we really appreciate you joining us. We won't leave you hanging again next week because, again, the inboxes, dude, they're flooded. They're flooded. Where are you guys? I have no idea what's happening in the market.
Phone has not quit ringing.
It has not stopped. And we're not going to do it again. We're here to provide information. So thanks for letting us know that you missed us. We'll be back again next week with another
maybe we'll talk. Yeah, maybe next week we'll talk about inspections and what you need to look for and what you can get back for credits and for ugly duckling houses.
Let's do it.
Some of the stuff I'm looking at right now on my list. Some things to expect that come up on a home inspection report, and what you should take care of, and what probably isn't going to have to be ignored, like old smoke detectors or something. So
yeah, I think that's a good teaser, Brian.
Sorry.
Let's leave them one more. I think that's good. Inspections
Right,
next time. In and outs. Until next time, Tim Robinson, Brian Naylor, Stateside Market Report. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.